Attracting and sustaining audience attention should be one of the goals of a good speaker. Because at the end of the day, you want to be able to attract your audience attention and to keep it, especially if you are speaking for a longer hour. So some people talk for 30 minutes. I have been in a conference where I had to speak for about 5 hours on a stretch. Okay. And I was able to handle that. But the question is, what do I have to do so that people don't sleep on me? What do I have to do? If you're like me, you hate it when people are sleeping during a session. It makes you feel like you're stupid, it makes you feel like you don't have anything to share. So, one of the things that I discovered is how individuals like you and I can actually spice up our presentation in such a way that people don't have to sleep when we are making presentations. The first thing you need to do is the first crucial thing: allow people to participate in the conversation. So, what I do basically is while having that conversation with my audience, I let the members of the audience to participate at certain intervals in the communication. So, at some point, I allow them to talk, share their ideas, express themselves. When I feel like there's really not so much to talk about, what I do is I ask them to repeat or to explain to me what they understood from what I talked about. So by getting them to talk to me about what I just talked about, I get them very involved in the conversation and they'll barely sleep when they are the ones doing the talking. Secondly, you can ask for attention before making important remarks. So what I do is I say something like, listen, what I'm about to say right now is very important. What I'm about to say right now is very important. The moment I draw people's attention to the fact that I want to make an important point, the brain wakes up. Okay, because the brain is constantly looking for the most important points. The brain doesn't want to be hassled by so many information. It wishes that there is a way they can narrow down the information so that it can focus on the most critical information and store it. So the moment you say, hey, listen, I've got to say this, this is so important, or take note of what I'm about to say, or what I'm about to say right now is so crucial, I need you to pay attention. The moment you say that, the brain wakes up and the brain wants to pick that. The third thing you can do is to ask questions and then request for an answer. So I've seen speakers that ask questions but never really request for an answers. Like they ask questions and then they go right ahead and answer the questions. That's not proper. If you really care about the audience and you ask a question, you should listen to the people that you ask the question. Let them talk. Let them express themselves. So ask question, but more importantly, request for answer when you ask those questions. Make sure that you wait patiently and let people talk to you because sometimes people have to think and it might take a while, but it's necessary. Research suggests that if a presenter does all the talking without giving the audience an opportunity to participate, then audience engagement drops by a whooping 14%. Can you imagine? If you do all the talking, it's like going out on a date with a girl and you're there blabbing and talking about how impressive you are, how you went to. At the end of the day, you must have ended up boring her. But if you could let her talk about herself while you express interest in her, just maybe you'll win her heart. So create anticipation or hunger to get to the end. So while you are teaching people or you're educating them on something, you've got to create the sense that something great is coming at the end. Because listening to you is like watching a movie. If you don't give us the impression that there is more coming, we tend to feel, okay, this is all. This is all there is, so I have to go sleep. So learn to create the impression that there is something that is still coming up that they need to stay tuned for them to benefit from that. The moment the audience feels like there is more, they will wait and they will anticipate. So how I do this sometimes is I start a story and then I stop the story at some point, go into my presentation and tell them I'm going to explain or tell them more about the story by the end of the presentation. Or I come up to the stage with some stuff. Okay, it might be a bottle, it might be a teddy bear or something, anything at all. I come to the stage and I keep it and I say, look, at the end of this presentation, I'm going to explain to you the significance of this teddy bear to my presentation. So even in the course of your presentation, some people just can't get it off their head. They want to know, so how does this connect with the teddy bear? And while you're talking, some people already are doing the math, trying to figure out how does this exactly connect with the teddy bear. Either way, you're good to go. Then the next is be present on stage. Okay, I've seen speakers who are not present, like they are talking, but they are talking as if they were forced to come up on stage. You don't have to be that person. You've got to bring in your energy. You've got to bring in your power positions. You've got to bring in your body language. You have to speak with your hands, with your mouth, with your body. You have to carry yourself. You have to be present when you are present. The people have to feel your presence while you are speaking. And the last point I want to make for today is you need to learn to solicit reputation. Now, this is very vital. If you want to sustain audience attention, you need them to talk back to you. So you must learn how to solicit reputation. For instance, you say a certain word and you ask the audience to say it back to you. This has two effects. One, it makes your message to stick. Two, it makes the audience to look up and participate for the first time. A lot of people are going to wake up from pressing their phones and being on WhatsApp, Telegram, Instagram, and all of that. Because you ask them to say it back to you, they will raise their faces, they will look up to you, they will say it again and again until it sticks. As a matter of fact, sometimes even after your presentation, the audience might actually begin to call you whatever it is you were asking them to repeat. They will say, don't you know that man that always asks us to say, it is well? And then it becomes your name. In either way, or in either case, you still win. I really hope that you've gotten value from what I just talked about. If you want to learn more about public speaking and presentation skills, I would like you to get in touch with us through our contact. Call our school or call my number and let's help you. My name is Stephen Michael and I am the executive presentation coach in Nigeria. I basically help busy executive, business leaders, career professionals to master the art of public speaking and communication skills. What I'm going to help you to do is to become a clear communicator. I'm going to help you to communicate with a greater sense of clarity, power, and influence. If what you want is clarity, if what you want is power, if what you want is influence, then I'm the right person you should be talking to. Thank you so much for paying attention. Thank you so much for coming around and see you in our other programs. Bye for now.